Today on the podcast, we got my good friend Kid Paddle, hailing all the way from France today to talk about his project SolutioFi. Kid Paddle is a longtime member of the Dead King Society and a new member of the Lucid Drakes of the last, what's it been? Feels like it's been forever. It's been like a month, 2 months, 3 months?
Yeah, I think like a month. Yeah, around a month, I think.
Either way, you make fast friends in these syndicates. But yeah, today we got him on the podcast to talk about his hackathon project. Sir, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Really happy to be here with you, and thanks for also this opportunity of talking about what I do, and yeah, I'm happy to chat about the space with you.
Love it, man. Awesome to have you aboard. I want to have more early growth stage projects on Solana because, my God, there's lots coming out. And you know what? We got to hunt through and find the quality. And that's why you're here. So with that in vain, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? How'd you get into crypto? What brought you to SolutioFi?
So, got into the space. I don't remember exactly when, but it was like 2021. I got it like because of interest of the attraction of the price action into a bull run, like many of us, I guess. And then I stuck around when the bear market hit, and took the opportunity to dive deeper when things were calmer in the ecosystem. And that's how like I took my first steps into the ecosystem. Realized really fast how powerful communities can be in Solana. And like also the strength and the value that it brought during the bear market, because we were all there together, sticking by each other to like not quit or panic or stop doing what we were doing. So very grateful for all the communities and that spirit in Solana. And on a like more personal, not more personal, but at the beginning, IRL. So I was a land surveyor. I have an engineering background. Took over my family company 6 years ago, and quickly realized that as much as I loved handling the business side, sorry, and like developing it, scaling it, it was not the job that I wanted to do. I wanted to do more, and I have a little bit more challenge than just taking over a family business. I also decided that we only live once, right? So at the end of last year, I decided to sell the company, and I did a complete shift. Taught myself how to dev, and still doing that, to be able to have like sharpen mind in the ecosystem, and to be able to understand even more. And that's also, I think, a huge weapon, and a very important one to have if you want to build something in the ecosystem. So I took a risk here, but so far I'm really happy about it. I don't regret any single, like at any time, the decision I made, and I'm happy to deep dive in the ecosystem.
I love that. I love that. I can tell that you're a hard worker. Anybody that sticks around after a big bull market to the bear market has my respect, even from a trading standpoint. But to decide, what, I want something more. I want to build something. And I know we worked alongside each other in the last hackathon.
Yep.
And mine didn't go so well, and I decided to change. And you stuck around and doubled down, and you're putting out a V2. And honestly, man, I'm stoked to see you here. Stoked to see you here and building it. No, mad respect. Before we talk about the product, why don't you tell me about your team? I want to hear about how you managed to finagle Flawks, Givy, and Dev Majesty onto your roster, because that's unfair. You can't fail with that.
So yeah, it's awesome because uh, having them make us like strong as a team, but before being team members, they're also like friends. We connected first as being friends because we shared like common vision in the ecosystem. We shared mutual friends already, and yeah, getting to know them like that, and then having the opportunity to start working and building things together, it's very interesting, and yeah, I'm really stoked about that. So yeah, in the team we have Ariel. So Givy is a co-founder at SolutioFi. We have Flawks. Flawks, it's hard to like to give him a precise role because he's covering so many aspects in the in our project, from day-to-day management to helping with the fundraise, to cover the growth, because the network Flux has is like very deep. So yeah, his help is very important on many aspects. Dev joined us more recently, and she's doing an amazing job about like everything about marketing, communication, and strategy around this. And we really needed to get stronger on that point. So that's very important. The dev side is handled by Marcel and Irvings that joined us recently also. Both have strong experience in Solana ecosystem, so that's very reassuring as a founder, like to know that I can rely on those two guys. And also on the content creation side, my wife is helping us a lot. So yeah, we have a good team. We have also Stealth, even if he's not actively like working on a day-to-day basis, is here around because he's a long-time friend. Like to make sure from a larger picture we stay on track, and very grateful for him for that also.
That's amazing. Sounds like you got a good support system, a lot of right people with experience with their eyes on it. I'm happy to hear that.
Yep.
All right, well then let's back up a little bit. How did you get to SolutioFi? What what got you there, and more importantly, tell me about the inspiration for the smart index baskets as a lead-in.
So if I go back to when I first starting to build what was the first component of SolutioFi, which is the wallet manager. It's when I got my Saga phone, because when I got the Saga, all of the one that had the good idea of getting their hands on this phone, we got a lot of airdrop, and they were coming like big, and some of them were because the meta was just to airdrop to Saga holders. We were getting smaller airdrop also, and that I didn't have time to go to swap them all one by one, and a lot of them just like died in my wallet. So I was like, it would be really cool. And back then nothing was like existing the way I wanted it, to have a way to be able to select many tokens in your wallet and consolidate them all in once into one single output token. So that's why we started to work on SolutioFi, and then it became quite obvious that it would be cool to have a tool that manage more sides, like more tasks that you need to do to keep your wallet streamlined. So we added the burn feature and the closing account feature. Even if other products were doing that well, it just made sense since we wanted to build a wallet manager to have that. And so that's what we've been working on at first. Recently we pivoted because on the wallet manager we have also the spread feature, which allow you to diversify in one click from one bag of cash into several tokens, but it was always meant to be bigger than that. And we finally got into a point in our roadmap that we could focus on that. It was the perfect moment to ship this for the hackathon because I'm convinced that Web3 will win also when we will be able to simplify everything because right now we all live in the trenches and we know what we're doing, so it's not a problem for us to have a very overwhelming ecosystem. But I know that if we want to onboard more people, it's gonna come through simplification, huge simplification, of everything. And I wanted to focus on that, and especially by talking with people that I know that are interested, but tried, and then they told me but I didn't know from where to start. And I also know that in traditional finance, because I use it personally, ETFs works good because stock picking is also complicated, as complicated as token picking. Token picking, with the amount of token that we launch every day, I wanted to come up with a solution that you reduce to the maximum the friction that you can have on traditional DeFi platform when you need to be at least a little bit aware of Web3 to understand what you do. So the idea was to go on platform to understand in the blink of an eye that you can buy thematic and sector indexes, and be able to put funds on this basket without more understanding of just how to interact with your wallet. So that's how we.
And how? That's awesome. I love it. A couple of questions. I'll start with how do you intend on selecting the assets inside the baskets?
So we will have basically we'll have two modes because as I just said, one main objective is to keep this really simple, to be able to onboard more people into Web3 through this new gate, basically. So on this homepage, the light mode, it will be select token that we select in the basket, backed with data, mainly regarding the market cap, on each sector market cap on the tokens. And we will have also a pro mode where you will be able to cook your own basket and to select the token that you want to put in. That's the vision. We have a really straightforward light mode where we handle the composition of each indexes, and one pro mode, or you have more freedom to do whatever you want to do as a more expert user.
That's cool. I feel like you could even add a third mode and a social mode where it's maybe you have a certain amount of pro users. You could whitelist them if you wanted to, so that somebody could go, oh, I like what Kid Paddle, I like his basket. I want to copy that basket.
That's on
and
the
I'm going to put in, I'm going to put it into his basket. Maybe he gets a little fee for being the manager of it, and you get a free ride. That could be pretty interesting.
That's definitely in the pipes. Of course, it's not gonna be the first feature that we're gonna launch, but that's definitely something because we all know how Degens like to follow profiles on Twitter and try to replicate whatever they do. So if these high profile trader can come and drop a basket on our platform, of course it's gonna be interesting to follow the performance of this index. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. Tell me about the fees. I saw a 1% management fee annually. Is the idea for that to be, spread out over the year, one time? I'm just curious about the financials behind the scenes.
So we have two options here, and to be completely honest with you, we haven't fully decided which one is gonna be. So the two option is, yes, management fee taken over the year. So that's option one, the one that right now we have in the deck. But there is also the option of like taking a small fee on each rebalancing, because so the idea of the index is to have like a targeted allocation for each index, and when, because of price action, the allocation, the weight of each index into the index drifts too far from the original one, so we have an auto rebalancing mechanism. And we can also think of, instead of the yearly management fee, take a small fee on each rebalancing. But we need to iterate, because if there is too much rebalancing, like the idea is not to eat the profit that the investor would do choosing an index. So yeah, that's gonna go through iteration and to choose like the fair way to take the fees, both from a business aspect and from the user aspect.
And I mean, you're in growth mode. It's going to take you a little while to figure it out. First iteration might not work. Second might not work. Maybe the third does. I think it's more so, as you know, get the proof of the concept, get the people out there, get them using it, add the composability. I think that's, when I was going through it and I was thinking about it, the thing that kind of always gets me most excited about DeFi is composability. And like, if I can either myself or onboard friends go into a real world asset basket that I really like, or a DPIN basket that I really like, well, then you can put it in there, but then maybe that token receipt, maybe that can go to Camino, or maybe you can use it as collateral on Drift, or you can send it to Pyra and use it as, credit card. So I'm imagining that's like very much where your head is at.
Yes, exactly. Like at first, it's gonna be more of like when you take a position, so you will mint a token that represent your position, of course. But yeah, the idea is at the end of the day to make this token tradable, and so like you can also use it as collateral in DeFi. So yes, again, it's like the first version, the first iteration. It's not gonna offer that, but that's definitely the like where we want to go. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like you get beautiful things like incentivized pools, because maybe this new entity wants you to use their token in the basket, so that they're willing to give extra incentive for you having that in there just by holding it. Yeah, that's
a huge
big flywheel there
to do B2B with project who wants to have their token in a basket, and we will have to balance to find a way to balance, especially on the light mode, because we don't want to put tokens just because we get incentive for our user in a basket. Like, it needs to be trustable projects, and as I said at the beginning, the key factor to determine which token goes in an index will mainly be the market cap. But yeah, of course, we will be open to discuss with project who wants to have their index.
I think that that makes a lot of sense, and it immediately made my mind go, you can have like degen mode, and I think as long as you've got full transparency about what it is you're offering. If it's incentivized, you show it's incentivized, as you see with with Jito on Camino, like you see the extra boost. And I think what I really want to see, the next generation of DeFi go to, and especially because, if you're offering what you would call like an ETF product, you want to be able to go and look at a DeFi basket and not just see market cap. Like, you want to be able to see, what are these companies' earnings? What are some of the fundamentals? Like, what are the reasons why you've got Radium in here and Drift in here and these ones in here? Because, you could have like the DeFi basket, but like maybe all the tokens inside are value accrual, because holding it is some form of like equity because they share. So like me as a user, I'm always thinking like, okay, there's tokens everywhere. Are some just governance tokens? Which ones are trying to build and put, equity or earnings into the tokens? And if you put a basket together of, all those tokens that are like building that for the future, like that's something I care about. That's value generation as well.
Yeah.
And
I
the information you can show. Yeah.
Not like that.
That's cool.
Like, I'm clearly not a fan of the actual meta of like meme coin and like token launches, and even now we have more launchpad launched every day than tokens. So yeah, I'm sick of this, and I really want to build things that are outside of this scope, because I hope that at some point this meta will slow down, because I don't think it's a good publicity for the ecosystem as a whole. And if the target is mass adoption, we need to also stop PvPing in the trenches all day and build things that will actually attract outsiders for now, or people that are sidelined. And that's the whole like core proposition that we have with SolutioFi.
No, I think it's perfect, and I agree. And I think, like, if you take real world assets and you take DePIN and you take DeFi as just 3 sectors alone, each one of those entities is about bringing like real value into crypto. Like, okay, we proved that it worked. We proved Solana works with meme coins, which means it'll also work with treasury bonds and whatever kind of debt-backed mortgage securities, and all of that lands on Camino and whatever. I said it a bunch of times, and then you can then take all of those things and wrap them into ETFs, and people can actually invest in them. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's good.
That's exactly this. And there is another thing that I care a lot. Like, I'm really happy that traditional institutions like are having a huge interest for crypto, like launching ETFs and product like this. But I cannot help thinking that we are giving a way of Web2 people to gain exposure into Web3 without even being in Web3. And that keeps bugging my mind, and I want easy solution to make it not overwhelming, but still having them in Web3, like having their funds on chain, and not just like being exposed through traditional ETF.
Yeah, I agree, and that actually leads into a good question. Is I saw in the pitch deck you wanted to target, or like you were looking at millennials and you're looking at Gen Zs, and you want to make it easier for them. Does that mean that mobile is coming in line? Like you want to get this into their hands, essentially?
Yeah, mobile. I think it will definitely come at some point. But like to have like to begin with, like a perfectly responsible platform, so that you can already use it, because like we do most of things like with our phones. Right now, yesterday, I was in a space with Maurice and Lulo, and he was saying, and he was completely right, that now we do manage all of our finances through our phones. So yeah, on the long run, it definitely makes sense to launch an app. But yeah, it's like it
Yeah.
will come when the time is right. First, like we have a lot of things to ship before being able to release the
I
mobile app.
love that. Responsibility was the key word there, and it sounds like you're not interested in cutting corners.
Yeah,
And I think that's a good thing in a founder.
yeah.
Um, well, before we take a hard right into some funny NFT stories, is there anything else you want to say to the people about SolutioFi?
Think we covered like a good part of the key features. One that we like might be worth talking about. It's that okay. So about the rebalancing engine, it's pretty easy to understand what it does. When well, one of the token pumps and the other token in the index doesn't. Well, it's easy to understand that some of the like well performing asset is gonna be sold to buy back the other one that didn't follow the same chart. But what if one token dumps? Because we all know that sometimes token dumps not because like a natural selling pressure occurs, but because like important things within the team or like the devs or whatever is happening. And if you have a token that goes to zero, you have to have a way to stop the rebalancing to happen because you don't want to
Yeah.
keep buying a token that has no value anymore. So we are developing an AI scanning process to be able, before executing any rebalancing, to scan if there is no strong social signal. For example, like a lot of comment about this token that's losing value, and people like assuming that it's a rug, that XYZ happened to the project, and that's why it's not working anymore. And of course, in this scenario, we want to have like
Yeah.
a mechanism to stop the rebalancing. So yeah, that's what we
A,
are doing.
fa- a, a fail safe.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And I imagine you could think about it as well, like if any one token moves X% against the others in the same basket, it could just stop buying for a moment because
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
it's
yeah,
if
like
one
the
is going to move in a basket of correlated assets, odds are there's probably it's either been rugged or something really bad is happening, and you don't want to keep
yeah
buying it.
the possibilities are like truly endless on the way you like on the criteria that you choose to trigger or not the rebalancing. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you just have to make sure that whatever approach you use, you're not gonna have an index that works well when the market is going up, but that doesn't do its job if something wrongs happen to one of the underlying assets. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think I would even want like a buffer window sort of on either side of my prices, and only like rebound. Like it would be interesting to see, and you guys will probably be able to compare this, like rebalancing live versus rebalancing once a day versus once a week versus freaking
yeah,
once a month, right? Like you could
yeah.
really spread out the time to need to rebalance.
Yeah, like so far the approach, like the first approach we shipped in the MVP is percentage wise, so that we like decided that for the MVP it's 5% or 10% of like if one token drifts more than 5% away from its initial weight, it
Yeah.
rebalances. So
Which could
that's
be like selling the other four to buy one of the others, kind of thing. Like to buy the one that's drifted.
yeah, like you rebalance so that you go back to the original allocation. So of course, if you have one token outperforming the rest, it's gonna sell itself to rebuy the one that have not reacted or haven't followed the same path. Yeah, that's
Does
the
it ever make? Do you guys use like Gito bundles
yeah,
to
yeah,
sell
because
things at the same time?
yeah, we need to ensure the index integrity, and when you enter a position, of course you want to make sure that if you have 5 tokens into the index, you have to have the app working for the 5 transaction. Like if one fails, it's not acceptable. So yeah, we use G2 model for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes sense. Not a dev. I just know a few buzzwords. Nice, man. Okay, now I got a tough question for you.
Okay.
Real
Hit
tough.
me up.
What NFT syndicate is better? Dead King Society or Lucid Drinks?
Huh.
You don't have to answer that. Why don't you instead tell me about what it's like being inside these NFT groups where you've got builders, people that are always at IRL events, people that you see, that you like, that grow together, that support each other. Tell me about that experience. Tell me why you wanted to join multiple.
It's like it's amazing, and I think uh, until you're actually in one of these very few communities, because yeah, so far I own 3 NFTs. I own a Drake, I own a King, and I own an SMB. Uh, so I will not like Kings and Drakes are completely like different kind of uh, of collection and syndicate than SMB. And so yeah, you were referring more of like the syndicate. Once you're not in, like until you're not in there, you don't understand the strength of those networks and the value they provide, because it's like you always talk with more or less the same members, because it's not like in these syndicates you don't have a huge like turnover in the holders. Like the holders that are there, it's because they truly believe in what's being built, and they truly need to be there also. So you get to create more real connections, and it's connection with like-minded people. So yeah, it's uh, it's the best, honestly. Like NFTs for me makes a lot of sense for this. I will say use case, but it's not use case. It's more than a use case. But yeah, like, and I'm also a big believer in the saying of your network is your net worth, and there is no better way than building a really good network and like connected with like true people than being in this syndicate. Yeah.
I love that. Sometimes with luxury NFTs, you could say that it's both your network and your net worth.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do agree. It's and for anybody like that's thinking about it, like I know sometimes they're price prohibitive and there's other ways, but if you're traveling the world quite a lot and you're going to conferences, having friends, even if you paid for them, goes a long way because it doesn't
Yeah.
feel like you paid for them. You get to know them, you get to know their projects, and it's just a really good time. It doesn't make it feel like you're always working. It can
No,
be
no.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Like uh, we spend most of our time on Telegram, right?
Yeah.
Talking and connecting. And when you talk with these people are your friends, and like you share more than a vision on one project on something like that. Like uh, you share like very deep understanding of the ecosystem and vision for the ecosystem. And like you said, you don't feel like you're working. You're just building with like alongside other people, and those people are your friends. So it's a huge added value, to be honest.
It's like one big therapy session.
A little bit like that,
Well, so in addition to NFTs, I see you're wearing a La Familia shirt. How'd you get that bad boy?
yeah. Yeah, La Familia. So La Familia, it's a long story, and it's a community that I deeply care about, because like all they do, like all their community to do is to make the ecosystem grow and to support builders, to onboard newcomers in the ecosystem. And of course, that's something that I love. uh, I don't speak, I mean, I do speak a little bit of Spanish. I understand it better. I should speak it way better, because I took 6 years of classes in Spanish, but I kind of forgot it all. And yeah, like we initially got close with La Familia because my wife, so she's also in Web3. She's a Soulflare ambassador, and she works with us
Sick.
in SolutioFi. Uh,
Sick.
she's from El Salvador, so she's a native speaker. And in Singapore, in Breakpoint, she connected with Arthur and Ryu from La Familia,
Nice.
and from there we became really good friends. Those two are Drakes also, so it helped
Absolutely.
a lot. And so then the opportunity of working closer together came, because when you do a hackathon, you need to choose a country that you participate to the hackathon with. And yeah, it made just a lot of sense to participate with Spain, even if I'm French and I'm a member of Super Team France, which is also a really cool, really great community with the same vision. But I'm so close to Andriu and Arthur, like they're really close friends. I wanted to build with them, so that's why SolutioFi is with La Familia, and
Sweet.
supporting La Familia a lot. Yeah,
Sweet. Love La Familia. Love the boys.
yeah.
Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I took French for 6 years. And petit peu is, je m'appelle Michel. Comment t'appelles-tu?
Okay,
I got, but
perfect.
you speak it and it's going straight over.
Yeah,
But
me, I got back in the understanding because when I'm with my family-in-law, they speak in Spanish, so I get to pick the conversation. And my
nice.
wife, she speaks in Spanish to our daughter, so I hear Spanish
Nice.
every day. But yeah, I hope I will become better, because being with La Familia and not being so good in Spanish, I'm not so proud about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. Guys, I need a La Familia shirt as well. Maybe I'll leave Super Team Canada and come over.
Don't tell
Just
Super.
kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding, Simon. As I put on the mug for my my departure commercial. And I'm even out of drink too. There's not even any maple syrup left.
Yeah, that's not very Canadian from you.
So you get in Thailand. Well, Kip Paddle, man, thanks for coming on the podcast. I
It was
appreciate you.
it was a great pleasure to be here with you, and I know that you like what you're trying and what you're doing with your podcast, like supports the ecosystem. So I'm all in for that. So yeah, keep crushing it, and thank you for this opportunity to come here and talk with you.
You bet. First podcast, not the last.
And yeah, and Drake's on top and DK's on top also.
There you go. There's room for two on top. I guess if
Oh,
they're the kings, we're the queens.
Yep.
I don't know if Meta's gonna like that, but all right. Peace, buddy.
Thank you so